Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, boys and girls, children of all ages. I know I stole that from my own show. Can I sue myself? I'm not sure. As always, I am Craig, aka Coffee, one half of the Coffee Cuddles equation. Is it an equation? I'm not sure. It's a coupling, it's an equation, it's something. By my side, as always, is the vivacious, wonderful, effervescent Cuddles, aka Anna, aka best girlfriend ever.
Hello.
Last week,
I lost my mind.
if you will recall, Anna lost her mind. A brief summary: she hates everything about people that hang up lights before Christmas.
Wait a minute. No. I was just griping because if you look at a traditional calendar, this month is November. And in November, we celebrate Thanksgiving. In the United States, I know other countries don't. Christmas is in December.
Speaking of calendars, we trade bad, horrible, terrible names and puns back and forth.
It was a good one.
And I think you will recall that we've mentioned this before. The more she shakes her head no or groans, the faster it is that I share it. So she shared one. It's a visual, but I'll try to explain this to you so you can picture it in your mind's eye. It's a calendar, and every other month it says either Greg or Ian.
Mm-hmm.
And the joke is it's a Gregorian calendar. You're welcome.
Greg or Ian.
You can suffer along with me. Just a little service that I provide to you.
You know, are we starting to gripe again? Because
Not at
I
all.
thought after last week, we were looking at the flip side of the coin.
We are. Gripe. It's not just when grapes are ready to eat.
Oh,
How
no.
How about
Stop while you're behind.
How about the grapes of wrath?
Oh.
All right.
Oh, geez, he's going to go again. Here it comes.
Wow. All right.
Batten down the hatches.
Take that off the top of my list. I've got it. From gripe to gratitude. How about that?
I like that.
Coffee and Cuddles, gripes and gratitude.
Wait a minute.
I didn't say which
Why?
one was which.
Uh-huh.
I didn't say which
But
one
you
was
pointed at me.
The audience didn't know that. See, now you've outed yourself.
I didn't out myself. You outed me. Anyway. So we're going from gripes to gratitude, and I'm going to let you go first since last week I kind of took the mic and ran away.
Darn it.
I didn't hear you complaining.
Not at all. I was over here doodling. You know,
doodling while I was losing my mind.
Exactly. I had nothing to add or interject, so I didn't want to have to mansplain anything to you.
Oh, geez, not again.
And I couldn't think of what it was last week. There's mansplaining, and then there's what women do, and we call that she-laborating. When a woman elaborates or explains things about why you as a man are wrong. I didn't say you did it.
All right.
No, nay. Don't be putting words in my mouth, you.
I'm not.
I know.
So I don't have any alphabet cookies to put in your mouth. Because then I can make words with the cookies,
Okay.
put them in your mouth, and then I'd be putting words in your mouth.
That's very true.
Eventually, we will get to the gratitude part of things.
Well, why don't we dive right in? Because people are already, I see eyes glazing over or ears glazing. I don't know. Whatever it is people listening to podcasts do when they're tuning out.
Wow.
I have a lot of things to be grateful for in no particular order. My girlfriend,
Oh,
the most amazing woman I've ever had the pleasure or privilege of knowing. This woman inspires me every day. She's dealing with health issues and she still gets up and goes to work and does her thing every day, no matter what. And I'm eternally grateful that fate and God smiled upon me and messed up her life by interjecting me into it. She had a good thing going, and I came along and I mansplained or something.
over and over again. Clearly, I need to wait until after he has finished his sip of coffee.
Spit takes are a visual joke. It wouldn't have done much good for them.
I know, but this poor monitor here, it would have gotten the brunt.
It would have. Something else I'm grateful for, even though he's a nudge and annoying, I'm grateful for my little puppy. This little bundle of love, this 80-something pound bundle of love. Well, maybe not quite 80 pounds, maybe 50 pounds of muscle and bone and little brain. It is an absolute love bug. He wants to be wherever I am, no matter what I'm doing. He has to be right there. And most of the time, it's okay, but there are times when it's annoying, or there are times when he waits till I go to step over this big lump in my kitchen because that's the spot that he needs to be in. He'll get up and try to move at the same time as me. So while I'm annoyed and perturbed at times, I am grateful that he loves me and he guards me and he keeps us safe all the time. I believe he would take on almost any obstacle to keep his pack safe. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I'm in school. I'm not grateful for the instructor I have. I won't mention any names. He knows who he is. But these instructors have this way of talking down to us in a condescending manner. And it's ridiculous, but I am grateful for the things I'm learning. Although I don't know that I will ever use statistics again. Here we are. I'm grateful that I'm on starting week 5. So 3 weeks to go, thankfully. And then I get 2 weeks off at Christmas or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
The last day is the 20th of December. And then,
hey, my last day is the 20th of December.
Oh, what a coinky dink.
It is a coinky dink.
It is a coinky dink. And I will be parting ways with my current school and going to SNHU. I'm sure you've seen the commercials. That was part of my reasoning. The other part of my reasoning was a lower cost. Another thing I'm grateful for is, even though it's still an expense, it would be roughly half the price of what I'm paying now for a bigger name school. And the current school I'm in, I don't know that anyone outside of LA has really ever heard of, because I've never seen a commercial. I've never seen anything on Facebook or online about it. I've never seen anything more than that one billboard,
billboard
that one day. So I don't know. What else? I'm grateful for our soon-to-be adopted daughter, Brianna.
Mm-hmm.
She's a brat, but, we love her anyway, or in spite of, or because of. I'm not sure which, but I really can't call a grown adult woman a bundle of joy, but she came into my life unexpectedly. My girlfriend looked at me one day and said, "Congratulations, it's a full grown woman." So here we are. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I have a kid now. All right. Even though I haven't spoken to them in forever, I'm still grateful for my children. I'm grateful. This is going to sound weird, and I'm probably going to get an odd look from my co-host, but I'm grateful to my ex for showing me everything that love is not. Everything a relationship should not be. Every wrong thing that you could ever do to another human being. Thank you for showing me these things. Was I perfect? Heavens no. I never claimed to be perfect. I never claimed to be a great father, a great husband, a great anything. However, I am grateful to her for all the things she showed me that I should not tolerate, I should not put up with, I should never ever deal with again. Conversely, I'm extremely grateful to my girlfriend for showing me all the right things. Are we perfect? No, we're not. Oh, I'm also, as a side note, I'm grateful for 25 episodes. We according to
That's
Buzzsprout, she and I have done 25 episodes of this show across roughly 2 seasons now. So I'm grateful for that. But as we've maintained from the very first episode, we are not perfect. We are not relationship coasts.
Experts.
We're not relationship experts.
Not by a long shot.
Coaches. That's it. I was close. I had coaches and host mixed up in my brain. So we are not perfect. We are not your go-to guide. We're just two people stumbling through life and relationships and relaying what works and what doesn't always work for us. So I'm grateful for that. And I'm now grateful for my girlfriend taking over for a moment so I can get a sip of water.
You mean coffee?
Well, that too. Well, it's water.
It's coffee.
It's magic bean water. Anyway.
Okay. So
elaborating.
Oh, here we go again. All right. So things that I'm grateful for. Well, since it is the season of thinking about the things that you're thankful for, I would say that the first person I am thankful for is my co-host over here. Amazing boyfriend, wonderful human being, and an absolute amazing man and father and soon to be husband. Can I say that? I just did.
You just did.
So he puts up with my shenanigans and goings on. He is always willing to help me out. And that means a lot. I don't know how to put it in words. I don't know how to woman-splain it. What was the word you used? Shalaberate. Something else that someone else, others that I am thankful for, are my siblings, my 2 brothers and my sister. Even though we don't get together as often as I think the 4 of us would like, or talk as often as I think the 4 of us would like, I am very grateful to have them as part of my life, because I don't think I would be who I am if I hadn't been going through life without the 3 of them. So George, John, Susan, thank you very much. I'm also grateful to our parents, because I think the 4 of us learned a lot from the 2 of them, and we've grown into the people that we are because of them. As Coffee over here, Craig mentioned, I am going through a lot of health issues, which maybe in a future podcast I can delve into that maybe. I
didn't hear part of that.
Well, the health stuff that I'm going through, maybe in a future podcast.
Absolutely.
We can delve into how what I'm going through can affect the 2 of us. I have worked with a lot of medical professionals, and even though I don't always get the answers that I seek, I think I'm getting through it probably easier than I would if I was still trying to navigate what was going on by myself. Because when it first happened, I just thought, go to bed early, take some Tylenol, and I'd be fine. And that certainly was not the case. So I am grateful to the medical professionals that I've been working with. And then, of course, and they will probably never, ever believe it, but there are, I did the math on this once. There are over 500 students that I have taught over the years that I am very thankful for, because I think I've learned a lot about being a teacher because of them, not in spite of them, but because of them. And of course, my soon to be adopted daughter, Brianna, I am very, very thankful for her because being a mom is something that I have always wanted to be. And I was just beginning to accept that, that's not the path that God chose for me. And then one day she came bounding into my life and
That's a good word.
bounding into my life. I may not have given life to her, but she brings a lot to my life. And I think that's probably what was meant to be, was for her and I to find each other and for her to be my kid.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, out of all the people in the game, I always talk about how there are so many things that had to fall into place just right for you and I to meet. And it was the same with her because you've dealt with hundreds and hundreds of avatars over the few short years that you've been in the game. I realized recently that, what did I say? 17 years for me, or 17 and a half years since I started. And you've been doing it like 10.
yeah. So I just saw a couple of people go, what? So what he's have we ever mentioned it before?
When we talked about T1 radio,
Oh, okay.
but not the extent of what we do.
Okay. So what he's referring to is a virtual reality
Game world experience.
world. I'm going to use experience. That's a good word.
Because it's not really a game that you.
No, it's not a game. It's not like The Sims.
What you would think of The Sims instead of with non-player character is where it's like The Sims, where you can build your own stuff and you can buy your own things and you can do all these different virtual experiences, but with other people, real life people. And people often forget that there's a flesh and blood person on the other side of that screen. People treat them like they're characters in a game. And sometimes, if that's your experience, and I'm not going to even attempt to tell you how to play or how to navigate the world, because there's as many people as there are in Second Life. There are that many ways or more to experience it. Think of anything you can do in life, real life, or the real world as we call it. You can do it virtually in world, and
everything that you can't do in real life,
right,
you can.
A lot of things
you can experience in the virtual world. So I'm sorry I cut you off.
You're fine. There are people that can't have kids in real life, and I know that it's not the same. But for some people, having this virtual kid is as close as you're going to be. And for a long time, we thought that's how it was going to be for us. And then, like she said, Brianna came along. And like, okay, this is our kid now. And a lot of people will roll their eyes and argue about that, but it doesn't always work out. And I definitely do not ever recommend crossing from in-world to the real world, because for every success story, and I personally know of like 4 people that it has worked for out of. In 18 years, you got to figure what I've met thousands of people, thousands of avatars over all that time. So out of all those, whatever that number is, I've met 4 or 5, in fact, that it's worked for, including us. And I've known dozens and dozens that, oh my God, it's so perfect, and we're going to be just like we are in world. And then they meet in real life, and you're nothing like the character you portray, and it's not the same thing. And then, oh my God, you wake up and like, oh my God, you're here. Whereas before, you could just turn off the computer and lock out and be like, all right, I don't have to think about this until tomorrow. So we were very fortunate, and it was very much God did this for us. Like I said before, I'm very grateful that this worked out for us, because there are so many people that it hasn't worked out for.
So before people get even more confused, so whether or not the people that you encounter in the virtual world, whether or not you come to get to know them outside of that is 100% always your decision. And
Because there's some crazy people.
and for for me it worked out. There are people that I do speak to in both realms is the word I'm going to use, and there are people that I probably will never speak to outside of that world, and that's totally fine. But as far as I'm concerned, Brianna is as much my kid
We do
in
like
that space as she is in this space.
We can't do Sunday dinners, obviously, because we don't live in the same area, but we do Sunday calls.
Mm-hmm.
Or we'll talk on the phone, or we will interact.
She's probably got the biggest grin on her face right now hearing
I'm
this.
sure she will.
Oh, when she hears this. I keep forgetting this isn't in real time.
I'm sure in time she'll be in the studio with us.
Mm-hmm.
Or something, or whatever, or at some point we may do a live stream. I don't know. If we had a bigger audience, I might consider that. Or if someone said, hey, do a live stream, I'm open to do that, because I think it'd be cool to do one in real time and then record it for people who can't be there. So we're definitely grateful for all the people that listen to us every week.
What else are we grateful for?
I don't know. There seems to be a lot.
I think, well, you've already mentioned our little pup here. But before he came along, I had, my little man, Charlie, and my mama Blue. And of course I've got my little snuggler, Onyx. I am very grateful to all the fur babies that are with me and those that have crossed the Rainbow Bridge, because they have definitely brought me a lot of love and comfort when I've needed it most. So very grateful to the fur babies.
I'm grateful for all the fur babies that have come before as well. There's been a lot of great ones over the years. I know there's other things I'm grateful for, and I should have wrote it down, but then I probably wouldn't be able to find the list. I'm grateful that I live in California. I never thought I would say those words, and I'm sure my girlfriend's going to pass out in shock right now, because for years I teased her about I didn't leave anything in California. Why would I go there? Kind of thing.
And then he got on a plane.
Then I got on a plane. I did. I'm grateful that I had the nerve to do that, because until the wheels left the ground, I wasn't sure that I was going to do it. And there was some doubt and trepidation, but I did it. Here I am.
Once you're 30,000 feet up in the air, there's no change in your mind.
Excuse me, can I get out now? No, sorry, sir. You'll have to wait. Your final destination.
Yeah, you can't use our outdoor lounges. They're in disrepair at the moment.
I'm grateful for all my friends on Facebook, especially Boss Lady Wendy, without whom I would have never gotten into podcasting at all, or maybe not as soon as I did. So I'm thankful that she took a shot on a neophyte, know-nothing podcaster, and we created some amazing episodes of Brass Balls Radio. My one regret is I should have made copies, or I should have downloaded it to a hard drive or burned it to a CD, and I never did. So if there's any existing copies out there, I would love to listen to them again. So that was good.
I'm sure we can find them. You'd be amazed what the research department is capable of.
It's very possible. Anything else?
I could probably just go on and on about everything in my life, but then we're just getting into a running list, and I would hate to do that, but I am very grateful that I get to do this experience of podcasting, because I've never done it before, and I'm usually more of the one, like, I don't know if behind the scenes is the word necessarily, but when I when I do my radio show, it's, something that, people are either tuning in and listening to or they're not tuning in and listening to it.
Don't let her fool you. She's an amazing DJ, and we are working on getting her own radio show online probably after the first of the year. And if you have the chance, it's Saturday nights from 7 to 9 LA time on T1radio.com. Listen to T1radio.com anytime because it's always great music. What is it? Where the hits come out to play?
Yeah, something like that. It streams 20.
All the on air. If I don't say this, I'm going to forget.
Okay.
All the on air staff are professional and amazing and super talented. So give them a listen.
So it's something that streams 24/7. And as long as you have an internet connection, you just go to T1 Radio, hit the pop out player, and there we are. So yeah, feel free to give it a listen. I guess that would mean that I'm grateful to Trader, because if I hadn't won that DJ for a day experience, I wouldn't have a regular spot now. So,
and then I wouldn't have met you in Fangirled or Fanboyed.
That's true.
Oh my God, you're Annie freaking Braveheart. We met at a virtual club in World. I was hosting for a friend of mine, and this is part of that perfect storm thing where everything had to come together. But she and I talked after my set. We talked for probably 45 minutes to an hour before it dawned on me that she was the radio personality that I listened to before. Because she'd asked me, do I listen to T1? I said, sure. And then it dawned on me, and I blurted out, oh my God, you're Annie freaking Braveheart. And then I fanboyed or whatever all over the place. And that was the start of our friendship. It was me embarrassing myself.
It was very, very strange to run into somebody who actually listened to my show, because I was pretty much convinced I was just throwing my voice out to the universe. So it was actually very cool to run into somebody who actually knew who I was, had heard my show, and is now actually
a celebrity crush.
Exactly. And who is actually my host and at times my program manager. So yeah.
Programming that music is both fun and nerve-wracking to get the right songs and the right fit. And then does this really, go together? Am I making them experience musical whiplash that's going from like one genre to something that's totally...
That's my alphabet soup. My alphabet soup is like musical whiplash, but I love it.
So, it's not, because you don't really go from like jarring rock to elevator music and then back to jarring rock again. There's a transition, and it's pretty smooth.
Oh, well, thank you.
Throughout the whole thing.
So this episode, of course, by the time you hear it, you will have been in your turkey comas and be wondering how many days you are going to be doing all different kinds of turkey. So
we need to drop this on Thursday.
Oh, okay. Well, then you may be listening to this before you go into turkey coma. You may be listening to this as you're going into turkey coma. You may be listening to this as you're screaming at everybody to get out of the kitchen so you can cook a turkey.
Right.
Assuming turkey is something that you eat.
If you like what you hear, we would like to ask a special favor. If you like what you hear, tell others. If you don't like what you hear, tell us and we'll fix it, or we'll change it, or we'll include things that you would like to hear about. Because it's just us talking about whatever pops into our head that day, that week, that month, and we'll just say, hey, that's a great idea for a podcast.
Exactly.
We need to do a podcast as we're driving up or down the PCH.
We will have to figure out how to do that.
We'll have to do a mobile podcast.
That'll be cool.
Or something.
So we wish you a very wonderful Thanksgiving and hope that you are able to enjoy the time with your family and friends. We are thankful for you, of course. And as always, this is just our 2 cents, and your own mileage may vary.
We appreciate each and every one of you. We appreciate you tuning in every week. Go out and find things in your life to be grateful for. It's very easy to be negative, to be a negative Nancy or doubting Darren or whatever. I'm sure I could come up with many names for finding all the negative things in life, but there are good things in life. There are good things in life. I don't want to say every day because that may set your expectations too high. But I guarantee throughout your week, there are good things to be thankful for.
And things to make you smile.
Exactly. Always try to find something that makes you smile, rather than being upset that you're late to work. Be thankful that you have a job, or be thankful that you have a car or whatever. So we're going to wrap this up. As she said, this is just our 2 cents worth. We appreciate listening. We love you all. God bless. Have a great Thanksgiving. Have a great week.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.